So I'm working on this RV fan motor here. It actually went bad, and I'll show you what it's doing here. It's running really slow, and pretty much the fan motors is going on it. So I'll plug it in, and you see it's not even starting. This is the relay right here for it, and to get it going, you actually got to flip your finger in there and get the fan running. So you hear it's running really slow here. So you put a test lead on here. You see the voltage, and I'll show you what's going on here. But the grounds are up here on the top, and then you got your power coming to the fan here. So watch the voltage. See how the voltage is going like up and down, cycling. I mean, it's getting 12.5 volts at times, sometimes almost 13 volts. Twelve and a half. Yeah, so you're getting 12. It's actually all over the board. Going from 12.5 up to down to 11. Now you can see 6, and I'm not moving the leads at all. Doing some weird stuff. See 13, up and down. Just keeps going up and down, up and down. And so yeah, this is related to what's going on inside the windings here. So it doesn't mean anything with going on with the wire, this relay circuit breaker here. It's a 10 amp circuit breaker. Power 12 volts comes right into it, so you can see with it disconnected, you'll have a solid, you actually have a solid solid battery voltage. 1220, slightly discharged right now because we've been running electricity here, but yeah, 1218, 1220, right around there, solid voltage coming out of this lead to the fan motor. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this fan motor today. Get this thing working right. Low voltage will cause this to happen too, but I've even connected it to a higher voltage, and it still cycles. It does run faster, but it's still cycling. So we're gonna fix this today. So the first step you got to do is take this board out, because this has got to come out. This cover comes off, and lastly, the gas valve has to come off too. Unfortunately, basically everything comes out of it. So I'm gonna pause this and get it going here. So yeah, I'll show you how it comes out. There's a plug back here. Plugs the main power in. It comes off. So actually, you can do it with one finger on the wires. Comes off, and then this board comes off. There's a little wing nut here. Take this little wing nut off. That to the side, and then unplug your circuit board. That real easy. And then you got your high voltage for your spark right there for igniter. Get that out of the way. And this should slide right out. Very easy, not hard. Your circuit board. Sometimes these go bad, so be very delicate or very careful with them, handling those. So now, yeah, you can take this cover off here. disconnect your grounds on here, the ground wires. Yellows are ground on this. Of course, red is power, and then this has a right in here, right where these two white wires go in here. This is your sail switch that that senses wind inside this little air box here for the pilot, or for the main burner to go on. I just dropped the screw down there. The main pilot, or the main burner, comes on when that sail switch closes. Tells the main burner to come on. Lights up the yeah, this is a really weird situation. Never seen one where it runs at partial RPM, like not enough to make the sail switch activate. Let's turn this off. So I already know what's going on there. So get this out of the way. So you'll see under here, here's your sail switch right here. That makes the burner come on. So yeah, I guess you could move. It does have inside there, it's got a flame sensor back in there too, which you could undo that, but I think we're just going to flip this up out of the way when we need to. And then also you got to do is disconnect your gas valve gas valve connection there. And then there's a ground too, which is back in there, so we'll worry about that later. So the next thing, of course, disconnect your positive goes on the bottom, negative on the top. Disconnect those, get that out of the way. So next thing is a little bit more difficult. You got to get your little flame, or your I don't know what you want to call it. Couldn't call it a little chimney. Get that out of the way. There's a little wing nut on there too. I took that off already. There's your little chimney or exhaust. Get that out of the way. Next thing you do is you got to turn the gas off. This gas valve's right down here. Turn this off. The main gas valve. We don't want no propane coming out of there. And then I disconnect this. And then there's some screws back in there too. So I'm going to put this in pause and get that wrench in there, disconnect the gas line, and take out the four. There's like 1, 2, 3. I think there's three or four screws, at least 3. 1, 2, 3 holds this assembly in here. I'll pause this here. So I got the gas line right here, right back in here. That's all disconnected now. So next, got to take the 3 screws out holding this gas valve in. So I got me a long extension. You're going to need a long extension. Get these screws out of here. I couldn't find a nut driver, so I'm just going to use my flathead. Pretty deep in there, 6 inches or 8 inches. got to come out right here. Yeah, there's a screw up in there. I can't see. Must be back in here somewhere. There's actually one right here. So that's got to come out too as well. Get it out. Here, we'll just use this. It's a short one. It's an easy one to come out. And that's it. Oh, got the one racking back there still. Hanging on. Hanging on by a thread. Those are, there it goes. Those are a pain in the you-know-what. So that's real easy, this comes out. Push your positive or your spark thing has got to come through here. Or you can, yeah, we have to pull that out through here. This one's got to come out too. Put it on pause. So now I've gotten the high current or high voltage lead for the spark, and then we got gotta get the ground. The ground in the little grommets go through the firewall here, or the wall between the two. There we go. Get this out of the way. There we go. Pull our gas valve out. Slash burner. These are a little difficult to get out. Just actually the gas line is the reason it doesn't want to come out. There it goes. Fit in here just so. There you go. There's your burner. Flame sparker right here. This one's a flame sensor right here. So you can disconnect the ground on that if you want. That way you're not. This is very sensitive. Those are snap. Those are delicate. So you don't want to mess those up. Let's get that out of the way. Screws out of here. Basically, you're taking the whole dang furnace apart to get this thing out of here. So now the next thing is you take this bolt out of here, or this clamp. Basically just clamped in there, holds that fan assembly in there. Use this right here to do that. Not too hard. the new fan motor cost me 140 bucks. I think it's a little ridiculous, but of course you can buy it cheaper on Amazon. Amazon's always a little cheaper than everybody. But I didn't have time because we're up in the mountains in Colorado here and we need heat. Okay, so there's another thing I have to take off too to loosen this clamp up. It's screwed right in the back in here. I don't know how to get to it. I'm assuming you don't have to do that. Should be able to just pry this clamp away. It's just clamped in there. Should be able to just wiggle it out of there, but unfortunately it's got this terminal block here that you can't get it past. I'll put this in pause for a second. So you're gonna need a 1/8 Allen wrench to get this inside the blower motor for the fire. Gotta get the squirrel cage fan, the small squirrel cage on this side off before you can take off the rest of it. Get in there with your Allen wrench, undo the set screw. Some of them have just a simple clamp. I think the cheap ones, this one's a 4 Winds. It's probably, I don't know how much better it is, but get that clamp out there. There it goes. Wiggle that back and forth. It's got like a D-shaped shaft. Get that off there. Actually, this one's not D-shaped. The shaft is D-shaped, but this one's completely round. So get that off of there. Put that to the side. Now once you get that off, now it should come out now. You have to bend it a little bit. You wonder how they get these into here. Oh, you know what? There's screws right here that got to come out too. Oh boy, yeah, there's 3. I think they're gonna have to take off one at least. Yeah, if I can get this thing in there. This is really difficult. This part is, the thing just doesn't want to come out. It's got like three screws holding the clamp in there. That's gonna bend it enough to get it out. Oh, yeah. Oh wait. I guess I was wrong. There it goes. There. Got it out without having to take these screws out of here. So yeah, you can see the bonnet in here where the fire goes through. Flame sensor back here. So yeah, now next thing is take out your other set screw, which is back in here. There's a little hole right here, right where it lines up. Get your 1/8 inch Allen wrench in here. Undo that set screw. Not too hard. Oh boy, except this part. break it loose, you can run it through here. Take that off. Note how much also is sticking out here, so that way when you get your new, put your new motor on there, it's going to go in the same spot. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to hold this, hold the shaft, spin it a little bit, get that, break that loose there. Yeah, this is a weird, the new one's going to have wires. Oh boy, this is tight. I have to put some WD-40 on it. Oh wow. Don't want to bend the fins. This motor is no good anyway, so I don't care about the fins or the shaft on here. There we go. There it goes. Break it loose a little bit. There. Work it back and forth a little bit. Yep, she's coming off. Yeah, this thing only has like 23,000 miles on this motorhome. Very, very low mileage. Yeah, so when you spin that, you can tell there's no, the magnetism is, you can't feel very much magnetism on that motor. And I'll show you the new one here. Yeah, you can feel a little bit, but it's not as strong as the old, the new one is. Feels okay though. Bearings are okay. So I went to had to order this from Camping World. They ordered it for me. It's part number 301136. They're like $136, which I think that's a little highway robbery. It's probably made in China. But what are you gonna do? I don't know. What did it say? I think it actually is American. Anyway, it doesn't say made in China, so I'm assuming it's American made. Yep, it looks like it. Thank God for that. New motor. Put your fan back on here. Line up the D. The set screw with the D. So yeah, this motor, you can feel the magnetism is better. Like the windings are not bad on it, like it was. I think that's what happened to the old one. The windings went bad. So there you go. Line that right up with the flat spot and the set screw. There it goes. A little rusty. There we go. It's about how much what it was. Distance right there. Close. Doesn't have to be exact, because all it's doing is making wind. There we go. Get your set screw. Allen wrench in there. Tighten your screw up. You want to make sure it's good and tight. You don't want that thing to move around. Oh, it's tight. get it onto the wrench. Well, I have to go with plan B here. Allen wrench, vice grips, grab onto that, give it a twist. There, that's tight enough. Good and tight. This goes back in. So yeah, this has got to go back in here. Wires, of course, are different. Get your positive and negative. It should tell you what positive and negative is. Might actually go in easier because it doesn't have that square block in there. Angle those in there. Actually might be easier getting this in here. Oh yeah, so much easier. It's already in. And that's about right where it goes. It should be, gotta tighten it up. Get your screw back in there. Yeah, we're gonna get our drill. Actually, a nut driver will work on that. Get my nut driver. Oh, it's right here. Wow. That's not going to fit. That doesn't fit. It's got like 4 different sizes on this thing. It's pretty handy. Plus there's a screwdriver that goes in here too. I don't have those in there right now. Tighten this up. Make sure it's in right where you want it. Give it a little pull up a little bit, tighten it up. Probably be easier with a power. Yep, that looks good, right? It's good and tight. That looks pretty good. There you go. Next thing, put your other wheel on there. Make sure you line up the flat spot, if you will, and you'll be able to get an Allen wrench right in between here. Get our Allen wrench right in between there. Although this thing, there's a hole actually right here. That's right where you tighten it up. How convenient. Yeah, there's a little notch here and a hole here, and that is right where your Allen wrench is. That's where you want to put your Allen wrench. Well thought of. That one goes on there. Make sure it doesn't rub on anything. Put your Allen in there, your Allen wrench. The guy that originally invented Allen wrenches, actually his name was Allen. You didn't know that. People that want to know where the name Allen came from, the guy's name was actually Allen. Yeah, that'll do it right there. Get our vice grips, clamp on there. Tighten up our Allen wrench, our Allen screw. Oops. Actually, it's slipping a little bit. May have to give it another little twist. Yeah, it's tight enough. Good and tight. Okay. Put our Allen wrenches away. So that's good right there. Spins free, not rubbing on anything. So next thing, put your gas valve back in. Make sure that this looks good. It's a little rusty, but it's still going to work good. Blow the crud out while we got it apart. This goes back in here like this. Everything just goes back in reverse order. Nothing too difficult. Like I said, they make things just small enough to fit. The gas valve, the gas line is in the way always. There it goes. Pry something to pry that away. A little screwdriver or something. Get that gas line back. There it goes. Goes in there like so. Put your screws back in. Everything's basically in reverse order. Oh, almost forgot something. Got my ground to connect on there. You don't want to put that back in until before you put everything back together. Ground goes right on that flame, the negative side of the spark. Things happen. Goes on right here. You won't get no fire without no ground. Alright, gas line again, get that out of the way. Okay, ground is on. That's the positive. Positive goes right in there. Hook that up later. There you go. Get that on there first. 4 screws go on here. There. Did nick my corner of my thumb a little bit. Watch the metal. The metal's a little sharp. yeah, we're going to put the rest of our screws back in there. That's going to be quite a chore here, so I'm going to put this on pause. There. And this is going to go on there. Might not be too bad. Just line up the holes. I'll probably have to drop the screws a couple times. Fortunately, this bit seems to be this magnetic would be much better. But let's go for it here, and we'll drop the screw a couple more times. So we get this all back together. Gotta have patience. Just like Guns N' Roses, gotta have patience. That's tight. We got two more back there. I'm just gonna pause this because those gotta go in. So you can see, got my 3 screws in. 1, 2, 3. 3 screws that holds this whole assembly in, along with this right here, this wing nut that goes on here. I'll put that on later, or I can put it on now. So the next thing is gas line. Hook up the gas line. It's not too hard. That's tight. Not completely tight. Actually, I'm going to put the vice grips on there. Probably use a wrench, but I didn't bring everything with me. I'm actually going to put the vice grips right there. Get our channel locks. Tighten that up. Give you a lot of room to work in here. Yep, that's tight. So now we're going to put our positive on there with a spark. Rehook that up. Make sure that's going the right way. For some reason they like to make it one way. There, that's tight. Get that out of the way. Put your high tension or your high voltage lead back through there. Put your grommets on there. Don't forget about the grommets. And those went in this way. You can actually see the divot right where it was. Makes it easier. Put that right in the same exact spot. There it goes, right there. I must have really put a lot of slack in that. There, that goes in there like that. Get our other one. that. So everything on this side is done except for the little chimney. Put our little chimney back on. Now we'll finish up this side. Make sure that goes up in that hole. Nothing real trivial on that. Put your washer. Washer goes on there, and your wing nut. You could, before you get too far, you can always test it. Make sure that the motor is going to turn. Yeah, there's not much room in between here. Just enough though to service these. Yeah. There. That's nice and tight. A little twisted. That's good. Now you put your, you're going to have to do something a little different on these. So now, if you wanted to test this to see if it worked, you could put this together, but we're going to assume that this fan works because it's probably been tested. Next thing you can put on is this right here. This cover. Cover goes on here. It goes on there just like that. There. Goes on like that. Get our screws. I guess that'd probably be better if these were magnetic. Try to. May have to use a little trick I learned a long time ago with working on cars. What you want to do is get yourself some little bit of paper. This is really cool little idea. Get yourself a little piece of paper, put it over the cover of the nut driver, shove that in there like that. Look at that. That does not come out. Little trick I learned, which in this case the paper is a little too big. Make it smaller. It's a little bit, there we go. See, that's not going to fall out. Yeah, get your paper on there. Put that right over the head of the screw. Put your nut driver on there. It gives it an extra few thousandths thickness. So you can get your screw in. Or you can get yourself a magnetic bit holder. Would work out. Would work too. All right, stay in there. There we go. Don't over tighten those. Those are just sheet metal screws. Little piece of paper. Actually, this is my receipt. Oops. Doesn't work every time. These are very small screws. There we go. And we're going to do the less difficult one right here. There we go. There's actually 4 screws that goes in there. Last one. Get a little piece of paper on there. Neat little trick. See that screw doesn't fall out. And we're going to put it in that last hole. There you go. That's how you do that. Put your grounds back on. Yellower ground. And then you can put your, actually you don't even need the red connector. Oh, we're going to have to do a different connector on here. I guess it's a universal motor, semi-universal. And that's your ground. Ground goes on the black. Red goes right on that terminal, so I'm going to have to get a butt connector, spade connector. So run our high voltage lead through here, which was right there. What? Yeah, she's laying on my jacket. So while we have this, we'll put our circuit board back on. Plug it in if you want to. That way you don't have to deal with the plug later, or you can plug it in later. We're going to plug it in later. This is probably the easiest part of doing this. It doesn't really have this thing right here locks into the back of this. And that's all you have to do is get this in here. And that's it. Put your wing nut on there. I don't think there was a washer on that. No washer on that one. Wing nut is really hard to get on. There you go. There, that's on. Plug your board back in. That your high voltage lead goes on here. Clip that in there. Just like so. now we're going to, before I do anything else, I need to, this one is easy. This one's going to go right on there. To ground for that. This one I'm going to have to put a different connector on there. So I'm going to pause this so I can do my connector. So now that I got my lead on here, everything's hooked up so far, and I think that the only thing left is to connect the main power up. So I'm going to turn the power off down there and turn the power off inside the house or inside the camper and plug it in and try it out. So I just turned it on, and we're going to wait for it to kick on here. You can actually check the voltage. As long as it's not gonna fluctuate now. Takes a couple minutes. Make sure all your connectors are all back on. May have to, I think I turned the switch off inside. Put this on pause. So yeah, while it was being paused, I actually turned the thermostat up, and now everything seems to be working good. Feel it kicking out the good heat. Our sail switch is working now. Blower is working much faster now. And just for a final check, I'm going to make sure right here, remember we were getting fluctuating of voltage right here. So we're going to check the voltage again. It's solid. See, now we're at 11.8. So the voltage is down a little bit because the batteries are discharged a little bit. So I don't know if you can see that, but she's working awesome. Just got to charge the RV batteries on here. So yeah, make sure everything's tight, good and tight. Wires are on. Of course, all the wires are on. It's working now. So last thing, of course, is we're going to button up this panel. Put your cover screws back on. Put your tighten up your screws. Not sure where my There you go. She's up and running. So that concludes my video on how to replace your motor. Of course, yeah, here's the old motor right here. Evidently something inside here, probably the windings didn't, something happened with the magnetism or the windings, or it could be the brushes inside. That was, brushes were failing in it. So anyway, yeah, I just want to show you, everybody, the beautiful views we have here in Colorado. I'm near Walsenburg, Colorado, and we got a lot of beautiful ponderosa pines and all kinds of junipers and cedar trees and all that stuff. So we got some, you can see over there, there's actually some rock outcroppings up there. Yeah, and this is the motor home here. Only paid $1,000 for it, but had to needed 6 tires, a lot of work on it, new roof on it. I don't want to go into all that. So, all right. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe to my video. Have a good day.